We're optimistic about 2021 as the broader financial markets point to some recovery this year. However, I think it'll be primarily virus-driven, contingent on a hopefully successful vaccine rollout and improved test and trace program. Until then, we believe those struggling will continue to do so, and those benefiting will equally continue to do so. In terms of investment, I think strategic and financial support provided by private equity and venture capital investors will play a fundamental role in UK growth. We saw this particularly towards the second half of last year, where although there were fewer assets coming to market, investment funds remained well capitalized and active. In the short term, ahead of Q2, we expect there's going to be an increase in the number of shareholders looking to sell ahead of the rumored changes that the capital gains tax will increase to align with the income tax. We also anticipate the number of businesses considering and reconsidering coming to the market. Although this might increase the supply of assets, we expect that valuations will hold fairly well given the reserves from investors. And for those companies that may have benefited through the pandemic, namely tech or healthcare, investors are likely to focus on how sustainable these companies' positions will hold post-pandemic. What is the quality, trading behavior, and retention of these customers, particularly those acquired in the past year? And for those businesses most impacted by the pandemic, such as leisure, retail, investors will take into account both pre-COVID trading, last year's trading, and as well as how the business managed to adapt or improve in other areas, such as reinvesting in R&D, reorganizing resources, or improving the quality of its customer relationships and stakeholder relationships. And regarding M&A, we expect there'll be probably premium pricing for those assets that demonstrated resilience. However, there will probably be very few companies that truly have a steady state trading or a P&L that was unaffected by COVID. Remote work will continue to be a key topic in 2021. Something to know is how will startups and SMEs drive value through the industry and community hubs they're building rather than being so city-focused. For example, will London-based startups increasingly consider recruiting in other cities and regions throughout the UK to access talent? We've actually just backed our first company who have chosen to no longer have a physical office and instead is looking to hire across the country and are rethinking ways to elevate their already collaborative corporate culture and further and drive employee engagement in an entirely remote environment. First and foremost, stay safe and well. 2020 was a challenging year for many small businesses. It's impacted the way management teams view risks and exposure, but also opportunities for growth. And I think that while the immediate needs have really been drawn to the forefront of strategic decision-making this past year, when considering taking on growth investment or funding, we would advise to look beyond the uncertainty and to assess what type of partnerships, investors, and funding will provide the optimal support and flexibility that small businesses need to drive the most value at exit.